So let's have a little bit more detailed look at how an auction works. I've picked this one not because I'm bidding on anything, just because it's a random auction that we've found here. In more detail, what can we see? We can see the end time. This is important. Looking at the end time allows you to put it in the calendar so that you come back and snipe later. You can check whether the time is actually the time when people are going to be on or not, whether there's likely to be a lot of bids or not. We can see, because there's no bids on this, what the starting price is. If it's a low starting price, very often you've got a good chance of getting a bargain. There's no reserve on this. Sometimes people put auctions up with reserve prices. You don't know what they are. So if you're wanting to buy something at a bargain, if it's got a reserve price, chances are that's not going to happen. So when we're looking for bargains, we want something without a reserve price, because then we can usually get it at a relatively good price. You need to pay attention to the postage, because that can add on to the price you want. And very often you have to check in the description to make sure they haven't added a postage in there. Because then you can argue with the seller whether, well, you didn't list a postage in postage, and they'll go, but we had it in the description, and it can go back and forwards, and then you might have to go to arbitration in eBay. Try and keep things simple. I generally avoid things if they have extra postage in the description and only look here, because really, if eBay forces you to add a low postage but it costs more, you put a higher minimum price on to cover your postage. That's how sellers should work. What we would do if we wanted to bid on this is we would type in our bid, click submit bid, it would go through the confirmation process, and we'd have a bid in there. What you want to do when you bid is make sure it's more than the minimum price, clearly, or make sure it's more than the last price that's been bid. But you only ever want to bid your maximum, right? Because you do not want to get into a bidding war and keep increasing your price and lowering your price. And that's why we want to bid as late as possible. Let's see if we can find an auction that has quite a few bids on it. Okay, so that one ends in 12 seconds, so it's going to go down quickly. I've clicked on the bid so you can see that if you bid early, your profile is actually private, right? It doesn't actually show your name. It doesn't actually show what you bid on exactly in the past. It shows you roughly what you've bid on. It used to give away a lot more information than this. It doesn't do that anymore, so they value your privacy. So there's no harm in bidding on things because your information is private here. So if you're about to bid on something, have a look at the bids and you can get some good information as to how popular this is. So let's have a look at one that is ending relatively soonly with bids. So this is an auction that ends in 50 seconds. We can see there's 12 bids on it. If I click through in the bids, I can't see exactly their names, but I can see some rough information. I can see their bid history. Now what's interesting here is I can see the first person here, they didn't bid again. So they came in at a low price, they started it. This person has bid quite a few times. They clearly want it, but they dropped out several days ago and haven't come back in. There's been quite a few bids here, but it's not been massively fast. Now you can see here that this person is the current winner, or is currently winning, but they first bid on the 5th of February. Then someone came in and rebid and possibly bid over them, and it says here they did a bid time of the 6th of February. So even though these people have been bidding afterwards, their bid is still high because they put in a high value. They probably bid something like £25. Then each time someone comes in and does a bid, because their high bid is at £25, eBay automatically bids just above what other people have done, but it's still keeping it below their £25. So when you're in an auction, if you bid early and bid high, other people can bid in, but eBay knows that you're prepared to pay this and will keep bidding on your behalf until it reaches your limit, and then someone can come over the top and bid above you. So if you bid early, you pretty much have to bid high, but you have to bid at your level. If you're sniping, you can bid just above what other people are paying, provided it's what you're prepared to pay. So with auctions, remember, if you're actually looking for a bargain and you've got a decent search, what you want to do is look for ending soonest, because then you'll see what's coming up that you can bid on that's ending soonest. And if you want to keep it in the bargain thing, remember to filter on how much you're prepared to pay. So if I say there's a specific thing that I'm searching for, Star Wars isn't very specific, but if it was specific, then I could say I'm prepared to pay a maximum of £15. Then I'll see everything that is ending soonest, which is an auction at a maximum £15, and then I can go in and bid on it. Auctions, the way we normally work, if you bid early, you have to bid high, never go above your maximum, never get into a bidding war, and have patience because things will come up, but try and snipe, because that's the easiest way to get bargains with auctions on eBay.